Good morning, students. Myself Subodh Kumar. Today it is the class of standard 7. Subject is history. Chapter 1. It is tracing changes through 1,000 years. It means what type of changes that we peoples are finding in the course of time. As the time changes, is there any change in our lives, lifestyle, in food habit and other related things? In a nutshell, this is 1,000 years. Which thousands we are talking about? Roughly, we are talking about the period from 750 to 1750. 750 to 1750. This is the most important. Why 750 and 1750? We will read that history has been divided into three periods. Three periods on the basis of the ruler's religion, because there is no any perfect timeline on which we can divide it. So we have divided the history. Historians have divided the history on the basis of rulers. What are these one? One was ancient period, then medieval period, then modern period. Ancient period, medieval period and the modern period. What are the basic differences? To roughly we take it ancient period as the rule of Hindu. It was the rule of Hindu, means rulers were Hindu. Then we are talking about the medieval period. Medieval period means it was the rule of Muslims. Rulers were Muslims. It means in this class we will read about the Muslims rule, we will discuss, and modern period that we have to go in the higher classes in class 8 about the modern period. Modern period means basically it was the rule of Christians. In Christians, it was basically ruled by the British. So we have divided India. It is said that the first Muslim who came to India, it is supposed that in 712 AD, first Muslim, Muhammad bin Qasim. His name was Muhammad bin Qasim. Muhammad bin Qasim. He was the first Muslim who came to India, but he did not rule the complete India. He settled only the Sindh, that is right now it is in the Pakistan. Where he came in the Sindh. It means that's why roughly we take it the 750 the period. It means Muslim had advent to India. They started. After that, after a gap of a long time, many Muslims came, rulers, they were attacking, coming to India, looting it, and they went back. but they did not establish. Their establishment was largely from the 1206 Muhammad Ghori, after the advent of Muhammad Ghori. 1750 it was the starting of the advent of the Muslim. In 1707 it was the death of Aurangzeb, the great Mughals. We will read in chapter 4 about these Mughals. Death of Aurangzeb 1707. Then why we have taken 1750? Because in 1756 Battle of Plassey fought by the Britishers versus Nawab of Bengal. In 1756, Battle of Plassey was fought. Battle of Plassey was fought in which the Britishers won the battle and Nawab Bandar lose the battle. It means we can say it was the starting of the British rule. So roughly we have taken 1750. So the period that lies in between, that is called basically the medieval period. Roughly for 1000 years we have taken it, and it lasts from 750 to 1750. So it means this idea is much clear to you people. What does 1000 year means? What does 1000 years means, and which 1000 years we are talking about? Clear? Which thousands we are talking about? It means simply we are talking about the period from the 750 to 1750. Now, it means this part we have got 1000 years. It means we have got which 1000 years we are talking about and why we are talking about. Ancient period, medieval period and the modern period. Now we will discuss about the what type of changes that had been traced, means find out. Changes that have been found out. Let me just eliminate it. Just see the changes today, what type of changes you people are feeling in your lifestyle. Earlier, if you see the rulers, how the rulers used to live. If it was a summer season, they required the breeze. It is not breezing, then they have to hang a big carpet. They have to hang a big, you can say, the thick clothes. And when the clothes were hung a big one, it was attached at the top. At the bottom it was attached to a stick, a big stick. And a servant or das was allowed to just make it move to and fro. When the curtain, you can say, a big clothes, thick big clothes, were moving, it means it's by creating a wind, because it is moving the wind of the rooms. Rulers were feeling comfortable. Before the advent of, it was the work of the rulers, before the advent of electricity, how the peoples were using it? just use it, they were using the fan, hand fan. It means if they are sleeping, then again they are not feeling any breeze or airs, then they were getting up, then again they started the fanning insects. Today we have the fan, electricity. We have the AC. It means we can keep it into the technological changes. These are the technological changes that we are finding. Technically, we may increase the speed of the fan, we can decrease the speed of the fan. According to our need, we may continue the fan. Then again, we have the AC. By maintaining the room temperatures, we can run it. We also have the heater. During the winter season, we use the heater. We have the geyser. It means we are getting the warm water during the winter season. These are changes we are finding it. Another changes that we see it. Before the industrial revolution, means goods started being prepared in the industries before the industrial revolution. How the resource were being used, we will discuss in the next class also. Sugar cane was used to crush out the juice, and that juice was boiled to make the jaggery, that is a gur. And just jaggery was used. Before it even, the rulers used to get the honey from the forest. They were being supplied the honey and the gur. It has its Ayurvedic value. But today, instead of gur or jaggery, we are using the sugar. Just suppose, visualize yourself. If any sweets are made using jaggery instead of using the sugar, take any sweets, मिठाई कोई भी ले लो, रसगुल्ला हो सकता है, then you may say रसोमाधुरी हो सकता है. Just feel it. What would be its taste if it is made up of gur, means jaggery, instead of sugar? Can you imagine the taste? Simply happens in festivals when some of the dishes are made using the gur. You children do not like to go through it, eat it. नहीं अच्छा नहीं लगता. It means these are the changes that we are finding it. Education also. Earlier, students had to go to the Gurukul. They had to go to the Gurukul, and why they required to go to the Gurukul? Simply they required to go to the Gurukul to get the educations. It means even earlier than this one. It means in the ancient period that we have discussed, the knowledge was transmitted orally. गुरुजी बोल रहे हैं, शिष्य सुन रहे हैं, सुन के याद करना. There is no book, no copy to revise it. They have to memorize at the times. They are repeating at the times. They are making a study in the forest. It was called the Gurukul, एकदम peaceful जगह पे. Nowadays, you are getting the knowledge and information at your home through the electronic media that right now I am supplying it. It means it is due to the change in the technology. It means our lifestyle has drastically changed if we compare it from the earlier phase to the our phase. Transportations, if we talk about the transportation, we are also finding many change in the transportation. Earlier, people, you might have read in the class text how people used to travel. They were using the animals, horse, elephant, camels, buffalo, for transporting themselves, either transporting the goods. Then cart was introduced. It means through it they were transporting it through the cart. It means it was taking a long time. Even if you go quite early in ancient times, yes, wheel was invented. Rulers used to go using the chariot. रथ से जाते थे, एक राज्य से दूसरे राज्य, टाइम लगता था. Road was not very good, but if we compare it today, we have many means of transportation. We are using even start from the very low grade, we are using the cycle. Then we have the motorcycle, means these are motorcycle and car that runs on the fossil fuels. Then to transport a large number of people and goods, we have the trains. Its speed is more, it taking less time. More people can be transported at a time. We have the aeroplane, the fastest means of transportation. Earlier, people were not thinking of going directly to the forest or hills and cross the ocean. It was very difficult, time consuming. Today, it has become very easy for us by using our means of transportation, that is airways. It means we are finding, it means the world is shrinking. It is not very far off. We talk about the communication. If you see the old serial, you will find एक महात्मा बैठे हैं, आंख बंद किया तो उन्हीं को दिखाई देता था. कौन क्या कर रहा है आज भी हमको पता चल जाता है. वहां सिर्फ जो महात्मा गुरु हुआ करते थे उनको पता चलता था. आज हमको पता चलता है थ्रू द लाइव टेलीकास्ट. Everyone can hold it. It means these are the changes that we are finding in our lives. Have you got the tracing changes? These changes are not only related to our lifestyle, it is our food habit, it is our transportation, it is our communications that we are discussing. We have the mobile phone, we have the landline phones, we have the televisions, we have the electronic media. These media, internet is there available, means we are able to access it. And yes, the message was being given through a letter, पत्र लिख के. लोग बोलते थे कि जाओगे तो पत्र लिखना. Today it is very easy. अच्छा मम्मी मैं जरा उतर रहा हूँ, ट्रेन से उतर रहा हूँ, अभी गेट डाउन कर रहा हूँ, सीढ़ी पे चढ़ रहा हूँ, उतरूंगा, बस लूंगा या ऑटो लूंगा, फिर टैक्सी लूंगा. मीन्स टाइम टू टाइम इंफॉर्मेशन may be supplied. You can see whether you are on the stair or the platform, by video calling you make it, which was not possible at that time. This comes under the changes. It means I do hope you people might have understood what the meaning changes. What the meaning is? It is tracing changes. You have got trace means find out what changes we have got it, what changes we are finding it out. The tracing changes कब से कब तक? 1000 years. कौन सा 1000 years? The period is between 750 to 1750. This period we are talking about. It means, is it clear that what changes through 1000 years? What we have to go through? It means we have to confine ourselves only between these two periods the changes that were finding in 750 to 1750. This many technological changes took place. There was change in the language also. So we will discuss one type. It is said that the changes not only took place in the lifestyle, technology, it also changed the meaning. अब मीनिंग कैसे बदल गया? मीनिंग बदल गया. दो वर्ड, we just consider the two words. Hindustan. Then first we discuss about Hindustan itself. If I say Hindustan, you people might be thinking, sir, ये तो पता है, हिंदुस्तान मतलब भारत, तो पता है आपको, इसमें क्या चेंज आ रहा है? Yes, there is a change. And what type of changes are there? The changes are regarding the area, how much area was being covered in Hindustan, and how the word Hindustan has changed its meaning. You will see, Hindustan, 750, it was the 8th century, and it was the 1750, 18th century. We are talking about the period between 8th to 18th century. First, we talk about in the 13th century. पूछोगे सर ये 13th century क्यों? इसीलिए 13th century because the Muslim rule in India actually started in 1200. You can say starting of rule. It was Delhi Sultans. 1206, it means it was the 13th century. When the Muslims started its rule, in the next chapter we will read about the Delhi Sultans. They had a different religion, they had a different culture than the Hindus. The language was also different. They were using the Persian language. Don't consider Urdu, because Urdu is not a perfect language. It is a mixture of many languages. When the peoples from different parts come, their language intermixed. So we are talking about the 13th century. The writers, the author at that times, Minhaj Siraj, in 13th century, he described the India only the part. Which part? Punjab, Haryana, and the land between Ganga and Yamuna. What Punjab? You don't consider yourself Punjab, that is in India. Punjab state है. India में Punjab का only 1/3 है. 2/3 Punjab is in Pakistan. So the whole Punjab, that is India as well as in Pakistan. That Punjab that we have got it. Haryana, you see the political map of India, we will find out the Punjab, Haryana, and the land between Ganga and Yamuna. It means only this part was controlled by the Delhi Sultans. Why it is called Delhi Sultans? Because they made Delhi as their capital. So according to Minhaj Siraj, in 13th century, it it was only the area of Punjab, Haryana and the land between Ganga and Yamuna. बाकी से उसको पता ही नहीं था. तो हिंदुस्तान सिर्फ उतना ही बड़ा. हाउ बिग द हिंदुस्तान वाज दैट एट दैट टाइम्स? हिंदुस्तान उस समय उतना ही बड़ा. It means the peoples were completely ignorant of the South India, even the East India. इतना के अलावा उनको पता नहीं था. उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो है बिकॉज इंडस रिवर फ्लो थ्रू इस, तो इंडस से उसका नाम बाद में हिंद पड़ा, इनसे हिंदुस्तान. Then after 13th century, first we have gone to 13th century. It was Minhaj Siraj in 13th century. Then we are talking about the 14th century. Khusro. Amir in 14th century, Amir Khusro. This Amir Khusro had described the India as the cultural growth. It means he described a little bit more than whatever being described by Minhaj Siraj. Because at that time, 13th century and 14th century are the centuries concerned. It is a gap of 100 years. In this 100 years, the area of Delhi Sultan increased. When the area of Delhi Sultan increased, it means all the area which were being occupied by the Delhi Sultans came under the heading of Hindustan. पहले हिंदुस्तान छोटा, अब हिंदुस्तान का साइज थोड़ा बड़ा बन गया. We are talking about the Delhi Sultan. Delhi Sultan का रूल था it ruled from 1206 to 1526. Then who ruled? Think about the Mughals. Mughals can also be classified into two groups. One was 1526 to 1707 and then 1707 to 1857. It was 58 last. They are called the Mughals. The Great Mughals and the later Mughals. 1526, it means it is your 16th century. So we are talking about in 16th century. Babur, first Mughal Emperor. Who was the Babur? He was the first Mughal Emperor of the 1526 to 1530. No problem, he lasted. We will discuss about the different rulers in the next chapters. He described, Babur described the flora, fauna means animals, and the biotic and abiotic life and culture of India. By the times, the territory of India has increased to a great extent. Still, it was not included the South India. It means, see, if we draw the map of India, most part of India was being covered other than the South India. In Atlas, we will see how long the Delhi Sultan's area under the Delhi Sultan was there. Then you will see the area under the Mughals were there. You will find that they were South India was still exempted, but Pakistan was included, Bangladesh was included. These two countries has no their name like Pakistan and Bangladesh before 1947. And when we are talking Hindustan, we are talking about the medieval period. It means when we use the word Hindustan, it means we are talking about the Pakistan, India and Bangladesh as a whole. It means word Hindustan remain the same. वो उतना ही बड़ा लगा हिंदुस्तान, लेकिन हिंदुस्तान कितना बड़ा होगा, साइज हो गया, एरिया, जोग्राफिकल एरिया, it kept on changing. Today, when we use the word Hindustan, it simply shows that we are talking the geographical identity of India, excluding Pakistan and Bangladesh. दोनों को हटा दें. पहले हिंदुस्तान जो वर्ड यूज करते थे, it simply shows that it was Pakistan, India and the Bangladesh, but when today we use it, it means when we use the word, then we are excluding Pakistan and Bangladesh. कहा कि ये एक मीनिंग चेंज हो गया. किसका मीनिंग चेंज हो गया? हिंदुस्तान का. पहले हिंदुस्तान का क्या मतलब था, आज हिंदुस्तान का क्या मतलब है. इट इज सेज कि हिंदुस्तान पहले यूज करेंगे, तो पहले यूज करते थे लोग, उनको कितना बड़ा एरिया समझ में आता था. अरे टुडे वी आर रीडिंग द वर्ड ऑफ हिंदुस्तान, क्या समझ में आता है? वन थिंग. देन another word is foreigner. Another word that has changed its meaning, it is called foreigner. What is the word foreigner means in the today's context? Simple. People will say, sir, foreigner तो पता है जो बाहर से आया हुआ. बाहर कहाँ से? The beyond the political boundary of India. If people are coming from the beyond the political boundary of India, they are coming the foreigners. Now, political boundary of Pakistan and Bangladesh are separated. Earlier, these were the part of India. Now, politically, they are not part of India. When any peoples from Pakistan or Bangladesh or even the other countries, all the countries which are beyond the political boundary come to the India, then they are considered the foreigners. It is today's context. आज हम foreigner को कैसे समझते हैं? But in the medieval time, ancient times, who was called the foreigner? To them, the foreigner was any persons who do not belong to their culture or society. If people do not belong to the culture or society, it means they were being considered as a foreigner. आज भी हम देखेंगे many peoples in India who have a different culture, different society, but they are not considered the foreigner, but at that time they were being considered the foreigners. The lifestyle, culture of the peoples who are living in the town are quite different to the peoples who are living in the cities. Lifestyle of metropolitan cities are again different. The peoples who are living in the forest, means tribal peoples, their lifestyle is different, completely, totally different. their lifestyle simply says the different. It means today, in context, the forest dwellers, means tribal peoples, are not called the foreigners, but at that time they were called the foreigners. Why they were called the foreigners? Simply because the lifestyle, culture and society of the tribal peoples were different from the peoples who are living in the cities. At that time, the tribal peoples might consider the city dwellers as the foreigner and the vassals. It means we are finding the two words that we have got it. The two words are there. One is Hindustan, how the meaning of the term Hindustan has changed. Then we have talked about the foreigners. Then also many words are there which have changed itself, that we will discuss. Historians have provided us these informations. How we are able to come. How we are able to understand that these changes are taking place because it is the story far behind our birth. जन्म से बहुत पहले की बात है, हम देखे नहीं सुने नहीं तो हम कैसे मान लेंगे? Some people were engaged in writing it. These people are called historians. The historians are writing it. When historians are writing it, they also try to provide us the map word also. When we are talking the map, when we draw the map, it means direction has been fixed. It is your north direction, it is your south direction, this is your east direction, and this is your west direction. According to map, this comes north, south, east or west. मैप एटलस खोलेंगे, मैप खोलेंगे, अपर पार्ट ऊपर का हिस्सा जो होगा इट इज नॉर्थ, यानी कि हम बैठे हुए हैं हमारे घर में नॉर्थ इधर है या इधर है या इधर, तो नॉर्थ बन जाएगा नॉर्थ. इन मैप द नॉर्थ हैज बीन गिवन केप्ट एट द अपर पोर्शन, टॉप पोर्शन ऊपर, साउथ हैज बीन डिपिक्टेड द डाउनवर्ड्स, ईस्ट राइट साइड and west the left side. If you are sitting facing the north in front of you, it means your right side, right hand would be east and left hand would be west. But in your book, textbook, NCERT, two maps are given. One on the first page, it was drawn in 1154 AD, quite earlier, and it's on the second page. Another map is map 2 is given. You will see the difference between two maps are clearly available to you. What is difference? In the first map you will find that the South India is shown in the northern part and North India has been shown in the southern part. It means Sri Lanka and the peninsular part of India has been shown in the north part. It has been corrected later on. The cartographer is a person who makes a map. If this correction was, you will see, and you might have read in the junior class about the direction and distance. Map is drawn on the scale. A scale is the ratio of the length on the map to the actual length. So all the maps are drawn on the scale. A scale is a ratio. But still they are finding a little bit difference into it. If you go through the second map and go through the names that are written over there, in that map you will find, you will say, sir, या तो स्पेलिंग गलत है या नाम सही नहीं लिखा. Spelling has also changed. The spelling writing the name in English is quite different that they are mentioning in the net. It is different from today's. If you find the Kannauj, you find the other places, you find the difference. Other than it, सर ये जगह तो मिल ही नहीं रहा है ही नहीं. हमारे मैप में तो है न्यू मॉडर्न में, बिकॉज देयर नेम हैज चेंज्ड. For example, in the olden map you will find or written is Andhra Pradesh. महाभारत में भी कर्ण को अंग का राजा बनाया गया था, अंगराज कर्ण. Where is Andhra Pradesh? And today's map you cannot find out the Andhra. Today's in India it is a Bharat. If you go through the history carefully, then you can understand where the Magad is there. Because in today's map, we cannot find the Magad is written. If you people who are not simply ignorant of the word Magad because not gone through it, and if the people had been asked to find out the Magad, they cannot find out. Magad है तो कहाँ की बात हो रही है? Magad means they are talking about the Patna. This Patliputra region, Patna is. If we are talking about the Awadh, it means we are talking about the Lucknow. If we are talking about the Chennai, हो सकता है कि बाद में इसका completely change हो जाए. Chennai is the new name of Madras. In the medieval period, modern period, how you will go through it, the word Chennai is not written, the word Madras is written. In the higher classes, I will teach you Madras. तो हो सकता है कि कुछ स्टूडेंट कंफ्यूज है, मद्रास कहाँ है, हुई ना इसलिए चेन्नई, तो पता चलो. It means it has also changed. I am discussing these things why so? Because who has been providing these informations? These informations were being provided to us by the historians. And how the historians were able to provide the information? The historians have two sources, basically two sources. It are these three sources, but two sources. One is archaeological sources. Another one is literary sources. What comes in the archaeological sources? In the archaeological sources comes the buildings, then whatever made by the human beings, artifacts, food, remains of the temples, mosques, all these things that are being constructed comes under archaeological sources. By studying all these things, they try to find out the changes that we are finding today and what might have done earlier on. Because construction of building style also changes. Today we also make the building on the basis of the Vastu Shastra. What is to be painted, what to be constructed, it is mentioned there. On that basis we can find out. These are the archaeological sources. Coins also comes. Artifacts, pottery. Then we have the literary sources. And what comes under the literary sources? The most important, that is comes in the it is manuscript. Handwritten documents, especially on the palm leaves, paper nahi tha. Where they were writing it? They were writing it on the palm leaves. A leaf, पत्ता, पेड़ का, क्लियर है कि जब वो ड्राई हो जाएगा तो टूटने में ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लगता. Its elasticity decreases, it breaks very easily. So this was the difficulties to handle it. very carefully. It is to be just moved. Keep it very carefully. If you mishandle it, it was broken. People were engaged in writing the manuscript. It means it was a handwritten documents. It means stories also, histories are being written. Some people might say, whatever we see the news, whatever it is kept in the later on, in the next time, coming time, it will become as a history. It means your class 5 stories, your class 6 stories has become history for you. बहुत इतिहास की बातें छोड़ो. मैं उसमें बहुत बदमाश करता था या बदमाशी करती थी, वो हिस्ट्री की बात. यू जस्ट स्टॉप इट. अब नहीं, आप पढ़ने लगा हो या पढ़ने लगे हो या आज की बात हो. इट मीन्स वॉट एवर यू हैव डन इट बिकम्स हिस्ट्री. द सेम टाइम्स द पीपल्स यूज्ड टू write it down manuscript. Only one because where there many people were writing it, copying it also. Now problem, why historians are using the manuscript, what the problems are there. If you see your class, do you think that handwriting of all the students are very good? Some is very beautiful, good. Someone looks so dirty that it is not readable also. Some students' handwriting also becomes a challenge to the teachers. What the student has actually written. And sometimes examination, when the students write very fast, when students are asked to read it out, कोई बोलेगा सर लिखे तो थे, समझ में नहीं आ रहा. लिखे थे, समझ में नहीं आ रहा. It means what will do? One will guess it. Simply sometimes it happens while the copying it from the going through the manuscript. This problem was also being done by the historians. Sometimes, like you people, while you are making a copy or note, words have been left in between. You have written that words in the later one, you have added that sentence the later one. In Hindi especially, when you change the comma and purnabhram, that is called full stop, the meaning simply changes. The meaning is story regarding it, the joke story, you will go through it, ask your Hindi teachers, they will explain it. If the comma changes, the meaning entirely changes. That was happening in the manuscript also. When the people were using their own idea, own view, in the long way, its meaning has completely changed. Now, what that actually was, it was becoming a challenge to the historians. अब क्या था सही में? मिर्च मसाला लगते लगते तो बड़ा स्टोरी बन गया. कहां से स्टार्ट किया था, कहां पहुंच गए, वो पता ही नहीं चल रहा है. एक्चुअली कुछ और था, पहुंचा कहीं और पे, ये कुछ पता नहीं चल रहा, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि हुआ क्या था, होना क्या चाहिए था. Then historians had to go through many manuscripts, and after going through many manuscripts, they find common things. That means it takes a long time. One handwriting problems was there. Then we have got the going through many manuscripts. One other problem is that we have discussed earlier. Some words that were being used at that time that are not in use today. To make us understand, it is also a challenge to the historians. Like this simple examples we have taken. Now Madras is known as a Chennai. Ancient name, now it is known as Bhagalpur. Magad, now it is known as the Patna. Awadh, now it is known as the Lucknow. The meaning, some words has also changed. It was also posing a threat to the historians. At that time, we are not talking today's context. We are talking about the earlier days. were the problem faced by the historians while writing the history and providing us the information. It is not an easy task. Then we had discussing बढ़ तो रहा था सब कुछ. When people started entering into the new area, they started cutting the forest. We will also discuss in these 100 years, 1000 years, forests were cleared, and for what purpose forests were cleared? Forests were cleared in the ancient time also. Forests were being cleared in the medieval period, in the modern period, and today also forests are being cleared. For what purpose? The purpose were different. A little bit different, not a basic different. The period that we are talking about, the forests were cleared to make a settlement and create an agricultural life, because more and more people were coming, territory expanding. To settle it, the peoples were expanding it. When the peoples were expanding it, settling it, they were clearing the forest. It means it was a type of tribes. Tribe is always not the peoples who are living. Different culture. And it led to the starting of Jati Panchayat. These Jati Panchayat had their own rules and regulations. Who used to be the head of Jati Panchayat? Elderly peoples. A group of peoples used to become the head of this Jati Panchayat. Jati Panchayat, that we have got it, that we have understood it. When people started settled down, people are very innovative. People are innovative means we started finding out some technological changes that we have discussed in the starting of this class. What were the technological changes? Few technological changes that we are finding it. First changes that we are finding out is Persian wheel in irrigation. Ox is moving, and from the wheel you can see a small bucket type banana. It was just inscribing rings. It was moving and water was coming and falling. It made the irrigation facility easier. In higher classes, we will do different types of method of irrigation in the ancient time, in the medieval time, in the modern time. We will discuss it. It means the irrigation facility basically it was manual. Today it is not a manual. It is pump set do we have, means fossil fuels generated it is there. We have the water pump, it's rotate of the electricity. The Persian wheel in irrigation. Then we find the another things. Spinning wheel in बिल्कुल कपड़ा बुनने में मशीन बनना शुरू हुई. स्पिनिंग व्हील्स, चरखा, लूम्स. पहले लूम, अब आ गया उसी से बना हैंडलूम, हाथ से बनाया गया. आज आ गया मशीन ड्राइवन पावर लूम। पहले एक धागा, कई धागा, अब मेनी थ्रेड्स आर बीइंग मेड. When the goods are being made by using the machine, its texture is quite different from the handloom. You feel the texture of handloom or khadi clothes. If it is handloom is there, and if you have the machine made goods are there, you will find a basic difference between these two. Then firearm in conflict, लड़ाई में बारूद का यूज होना शुरू हो गया. यूज ऑफ तोप खाना in the medieval period. This credit goes to especially to the Mughal emperors. बाबर ने यूज किया, तोप टाइप का बना दिया, लॉन्ग कैनस, बारूद का गोला भर दिया, इनिशिएटेड, आग लगा दिया, ब्लास्ट, आगे वाला गया, स्वाहा, कहानी खत्म. That means firearms in combat, it was being created during these 1000 years. Person, meaning irrigation was made easy. Spinning wheels means weaving of cloth become easy. Then the firearms, war also become easy. अब डायरेक्ट लड़ाई नहीं और दूर से ही मार दो. आजकल तो और ज्यादा हो गया. यहाँ बटन दबाओ, 2000 किलोमीटर दूर मिसाइल गिर गया, कहानी खत्म. घूमने की जरूरत नहीं, आर्म्स लेके जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, तलवार खींचने की जरूरत नहीं है. जस्ट इंटर द पोर्ट, इंटर कीजिए, वहां पर गिर जाए, मिसाइल से जाए, ऑल इज रेडी. इट मींस देयर आर मेनी टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंजेस दैट वी हैव फाइंड. ऑटोमेटिक गन्स आर देयर. एक बार लोड कर दिया, थाउजेंड्स ऑफ निकल रहा है, निकल रहा है. It means these ways that you don't have to go through the today's one. We have to talk about during only 1000 years. So we have got what are the technological changes were associated. The technological changes that were associated with the Persian wheels, spinning wheels, and the firearms. Now, one thing that is missing, when the people started to settle down, these peoples were of different groups. They created, they have discussed it, they have the Jati Panchayat. Yes, okay, they have the Jati Panchayat. ये जाति, एक ग्रुप, एक वॉरियर ग्रुप्स बनना शुरू हो गए. In these groups, the one most important group was the warrior groups, who started calling themselves the Rajputra, Raja ka putra. Now I take you to class 6. Our society was divided into 4 groups: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudras. These Kshatriya groups, and which were the warrior groups, it was called the Rajputras. It became very important. Their origin is associated basically with the Rajasthan and their surrounding areas. They spread to other parts of the country. Means their origination is from this. These were the warrior groups. Main motto to rule, become the army, to protect their peoples. It means till we have discussed in this one, what we have discussed the changes. What are the different types of changes? Later on we will discuss, in the next class we will discuss. खाली चेंज सोशल लाइफ में ही दिखाई दिया, क्या चेंजेस एरिया में दिखाई दिया, क्या चेंजेस टेक्नोलॉजी में दिखाई दिया? नहीं, चेंजेस रिलीजन में भी दिखाई दिया. So this was we will discuss till we have discussed the technological changes that we are finding it. You may also find out the name. Just I am taking you a name, नाम कैसे बदल गया. Somewhere you find the word God is using. is for Bengals. So what God was using, it means it was for Bengals. It means a little recap what we have got it. We have discussed the changes 1000 years, which thousands we are talking about, and present changes means we are finding out the changes. Kya changes? Changes in the lifestyle, changes in the transportation, changes in the communications, changes in the education system, changes in the words also, meaning also. There are also changes in the religion also. The religious chapters we will discuss. Till now, we have discussed the changes in our society. I do hope you people might have understood this one. So, you people are instructed to go through this video very carefully. Also go through the textbook. It will clear your ideas. I do hope today's class is finished. Later on, we will discuss the next part of this chapter in the next class. Thank you.